So I do another video. It's Tuesday, so I'm quite late. I've had a fairly eventful week. The big news is that I lost half my black Australorps to I think it was probably a dog attack. It wasn't a fox attack. So I'll talk about that later. And the great problem is losing half your flock with the amount of money you've invested in them, and just the emotional part of it too. Is you start to question if heritage breeds are the thing you should be doing. I also have a go at sexing. I talk about sexing poultry and why you shouldn't listen to anything you see on the internet. Anyway, let's get into it. 3 weeks into driving around Australia in a four-wheel drive truck that I built, COVID struck, so all the plans had to change. We ended up buying an abandoned dairy farm in northeast Victoria, fertile river fat country with billabongs all over the place. Home to a vast variety of wildlife. Join me as I explore the joys of small farming, the wonderful wildlife we have, and as I try to make sense of this crazy world we all live in. So Tuesday morning I come to feed them and find that I've lost probably 20 birds. I managed to find 4 of the bodies, and that's all. So I don't know what went on, whether it was a dog. I think it must have been a dog because a few of the electric fences was pushed right down, and one part of it was broken. So the really devastating part of this is is this the way it's always going to be? Am I going to raise these chooks to this sort of point and spend a lot of money on feed, and then they're just all going to get killed? Yeah, I've raised most of these birds from April last year to this point, and to have them all just killed like this, it's a bit emotional. It's also it's costs a lot of money. I spent a lot of feed on these, and I was going to breed from them, and now I've got this situation where they've all been killed in one night. I don't really know what to do. So it's Wednesday, egg load up day. It's actually noon now, I'm a bit late. It's a bit overcast. Forecast small amount of rain, not much. I've got plenty of eggs, 16 or 15 reds. They're all whites. I had to remove one, it had a little crack in it, and then 48 blacks. But I'm going to put them in. First off though, so as we see, that was Sunday, 18 days. Monday, Tuesday, and now it's Wednesday, it's 21 days for a hatch one. They're in down the bottom. We'll just have a real quick look. Now we're going to have a real quick look because during this lockdown period you really got to muck around with them as little as possible. You don't want to touch them. You can keep them really. I wouldn't normally. I'll whip them in. I won't. But here I'll open the door. Even turning the light on. I don't even like turning the light on. So we'll just quickly get in there. And as you can see in there, there's hatching going on. Close it up very quickly. That's about all I really like to do. So not much. So we've got a hatch, and that's early. So it's Wednesday. It's day 21, and really, 10 o'clock was 21 days. So really, I would have expected, any activity to happen to delay until day 22 normally. But we've got quite a bit of stuff happening down there in day 21. So I'll get these last tray in. I'll put them down the bottom. I'll have 360, something like that, 360 eggs, 340 eggs in there. And we'll get this done. I've got those eggs in down there in the incubator on the bottom level. I've got one tray left for next week. Yeah, it took about 47 seconds according to the phone. I don't really like having it open for that long. You've got to really keep it locked down at this stage. And as the door is open, I hear lots of chirps and chips inside. It's really quite exciting if you get excited by this sort of thing. But I'm not going to touch it till probably late tomorrow afternoon. I'll have a look. Those chicks are fine in there for quite a lot. I was wondering what that was. I've got a chook down in here. You can see him. Oh. So, clucking away in there. She's got a dud leg at the moment. Chooks are quite cruel to each other. And there's a sick bird, you've got to get them out. Anyway, tomorrow afternoon I'll have a better look and see what I've got. There's certainly a lot of noise down in there. Now this is my first attempt at sexing chickens, other than when they're over 20 weeks old. I'm using the vent sexing method. Now, point number one with this: don't believe anything you see on YouTube videos. I'm not going to show you how to do this because I don't really know, and most of the people on YouTube don't know either. They're doing it for the first time, and they're just grabbing information from all over the place. That's other people doing it from the first time. So you just got to, I won't know for 20 weeks basically how well I go. I'll start to get a hint, I guess, in 6-8 weeks, but we'll just see how we go. But I haven't really got a choice, because if I just don't sex them, then I'm feeding roosters, and the whole breeding of chooks is really unviable. The people who buy my chooks, they don't want roosters. Nobody wants a rooster. So if I give them a rooster, then it's they make it my problem. So I won't be selling any of these sex chicks because I don't know I'm getting it right. You can sort of see, basically with the vent sexing, this is what I've summed it down to, is that males have a lump and females don't have a lump. But every cocker you're looking at is a little bit different, so it's very hard to get a consistent. I guess there's probably 20% are obviously hens, 20% are obviously roosters, and then the rest is a sort of the grey area in the middle. Looking at YouTube videos, I just don't believe most of them. Most of them are just people making up as they go along to get a few clicks. So Sunday lunchtime, putting another 84 eggs into the hatching chamber. The last numbers were very good. I think we only lost 2 that weren't fertile, and then there were sort of 10 that didn't go through to hatch, and only 1 died in the first couple of days. Apart from the vent sexing, if you don't count that as a death. So here we go, and I won't record. I'll just, when I get to the end and I've got putting them back in, we'll have a look at what this 80 eggs are are looking like. That wasn't too bad. So it was a full tray. It's the first full tray I put down into the hatching chamber. There was 3/4, half, even less, and I got 7 out of that. 7 out of 88. So 81 eggs went down. So it's just 7 eggs, but still that in the scheme of things, in what I've experienced in the past, that's excellent. I think I was thinking about why perhaps these. Doing much better at the fertility rates of these eggs is that some of my chooks are a bit older, so they're in their 2nd year of laying now. A lot of them aren't, but there's probably 30% are probably bigger 1.5-year-old chooks, and they're supposed to be much more fertile. They're supposed to be produce bigger eggs, and a higher percentage of those will be fertile. So that was pretty good, really. We'll see what happens. It'll be next episode when we pull these out, and we'll see what happens. So near the baby bunnies, they're about a 1.5 weeks old now. This is in the big cream girl. I've got a name for her, and she's a big healthy rabbit. And it's just so good to see these little healthy baby rabbits. There's probably only 4 in them. I'm not going to disturb them too much, or her too much. She knows what she's doing. I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm trusting that she's getting it all right. I'll just leave all the decisions up to her. So, if you can see that. So the grey rabbit, the grey male went over both of them, although the black got out for a little while, and so who knows. But it's all good. So I've been feeding them on carrots and apples. I figure they need a bit more, so I won't disturb them too much. I'll leave them there. Next week we'll see how big they are, if their eyes have opened up yet. So it's quite lovely, really, isn't it? It's good. So if anybody out there knows what in rabbits, I know in the colour is a dominant from the rooster, from the male side, and the genetics. I don't know whether that's the same for rabbits, whether the colour comes from the buck or from the doe. Looks like this litter here, they're largely white or light grey. So it might be, well, who knows. If you know, leave a comment and tell me, with a genetic point of view, which male or female determines the colour. So. The big hay paddock's been cut and baled again for the year. A young guy with lots of tractors, he comes and does it and takes away the hay for his cows, and in return I get lots of rotting hay and straw. That's perfect for the garden, so it's a win-win situation. So thanks for watching to the end again. It's been an eventful week with lots of eggs going into the incubator and lots of chicks coming out of the incubator, and particularly they're looking so healthy and well. I've also had a go at sexing chicks, and I don't know how that'll go, and it'll be interesting. The other thing is the first rabbits this week have started to show themselves, and very tiny little dependent things they are.